Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, donuts in my munchkins, welcome back to the channel. Hope you are doing well. We are back. This is going to be week 4 of the Daily Donut, where I am eating a donut every single day and showing you you can still include your favorite foods. We do not have to demonize our favorite foods or bad foods, and we can still have them and make fat loss progress. Now, last week, we had a big discussion talking about the scale, because as you saw last week, we had plenty of scale fluctuations, a lot of spikes over the week, which can cause a lot of mental frustration. So if that's something you struggle with, be sure to go to the previous video, week 3, and check that out. But if you've been watching up to this point, you've seen that I've had a donut every single day, and I'm still making progress, and I'm not gaining any weight, gaining any fat. The scale isn't increasing. In my progress pictures, you're not seeing fat being added onto my body. So in this week, I wanna give you sort of this fat loss guide. Let's call it like this ultimate fat loss guide. And I'll show you my process I like to use for not only me, but my one-on-one online fat loss clients on how you can start to lose 30, 50, 70, 100 pounds. This mental fat loss freedom, this food freedom, and live your happily ever after. Because that's the goal, right? To have this happily ever after, where we're taking care of our health. We are losing our weight, losing our fat, improving our relationship with food, but are able to still enjoy the flexibility, the fun aspects of life, and honestly live your life. So you sort of find this Goldilocks zone, which I like to call it, this Goldilocks zone where it's the just right amount, taking care of your health. You know, you're working out, you're getting your movement in, you're managing your stress, you're getting your sleep in, you're eating nutrient-dense foods most of the time. But you're also not feeling anxious about having the cake on your kid's birthday, going out for your anniversary and enjoying some drinks, enjoying some good food. You're not feeling guilty, you're not feeling any sort of shame, that anxiety, that feeling of being overwhelmed, or feeling of like you ruined your progress. So that's why I wanna go over the system I like to use. I call it the 4Fs, 3 stages, 4Fs. You have your foundation phase, you have your food and fitness phase, and then you have your freedom phase. And I'm gonna explain each phase, each stage, and how that works. But before we get into that, we got a couple donuts to eat, maybe a couple workouts we'll throw in. I don't know what exactly the montage is gonna be right after that, but we'll obviously have the intro montage, maybe a couple workouts, obviously donuts are to come. And before we even get into that stuff, after the intro montage, I'll give you a quick update on progress pictures. So let's get into it and I'll see you soon. Damn good.
Real quick, before I get into the rest of this video, I have a question for you. Well, one thing you're going to learn later on, because I already explained it in a video I already recorded, but I'm going to do one more week of this daily donut. And it's going to be not this video, but the next one. So you still got one more video after this one. But I was thinking about doing a fat loss challenge for you, where you can join a group. I'll coach you, I'll help you out, and do like something like a 21-day challenge. I haven't gotten the details of it yet. I actually just kind of thought of it this week. But if that's something that interests you, comment down below. Let me know if that does. I'll probably do it late April, early May. So if that's something that interests you, leave a comment down below and let me know. All right, we're back. Day 22. Start of week 4. Start of week 4. We're still going. Just finished check-ins. Just had a little bit of yogurt. Now it's donut time. So still got some donuts left over, parts of donuts that I'm just gonna eat today because today is a busy day. But luckily, it kind of makes out to be a whole donut if I squeeze it a little bit. So we have the glaze left over, a little bit of a bite of the chocolate donut as well. Feels hard as a rock, but we gotta get it done. We gotta get it done. Definitely a little stale. Probably needs a little milk, soften it up a little bit. Donuts, still good. Day 23, we are back with a good old Krispy Kreme. Not a crispy donut, but a Krispy Kreme. Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme? Was it crispy? No? All right. Well, let's hammer this in. Oh, baby Jesus, you are so damn good. Krispy Kremes. Give me a dozen. I will eat every single last one of them. Oh, this is a really good donut. All over my face, making a mess. You know the deal. Oh, let's try something. Hold on. Let's see how good I am. Oh, that was in and out. That was very close. Oh, we're gonna have to vacuum this place after. Third time's a charm.
So we're trying the viral TikTok social media bowl that everyone's talking about. We got ground beef with taco seasoning, we got avocado, we got cottage cheese and sweet potato. This thing is supposed to be really good. I'm not much of a food reviewer because I feel like I always kind of have an idea what it's going to taste like, but we're gonna give this a shot. We also still have to add the hot honey here. So let's drizzle this on. I do like hot honey, especially on pizza. Pretty damn good. All right, so we add a little bit of that in. I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to mix it up, but we're just gonna try a little bit of everything here and make a mess. Come on, we need that ground beef. Cheers. Damn. I think it's a lot of the hot honey that makes this, but that is freaking good. This is a very good combination where the flavor is phenomenal, but I also like the combination of like the hot ground beef, the room temperature avocado, the cold cottage cheese, and the hot sweet potatoes. Ah, this is pretty darn good. With the hot honey definitely makes it, for sure. It would be interesting to try it without it, see if it's any good still, which it definitely is. But I definitely think the hot and honey is making it. But I'm obviously mixing it up because this is just easier, more fun. Wow, more bite. I don't really give too many food recommendations, but this is 100% worth trying. Again, it's taco seasoning with the ground beef. It's avocado, sweet potatoes, just some cottage cheese, and drizzle some hot honey on top. That was really good. Definitely 2 thumbs up on that one. All right, we are back. Day 24. We're eating donuts still. Got a nice glazed donut from my girl Linda, and then we got a nice protein shake to wash it down with. Beautiful glaze, beautiful Linda. It's gonna be a good day. You do know it's a good donut when it makes a mess. This is tough because I'm very hungry right now. This only makes me want to have 12 more. Even if I wasn't hungry, donuts just want to make me have a lot more. It's what's known as a hyperpalatable food. All done, baby. See you soon. All right, we are back. It looks spooky as hell right now. Spooky as hell. Got a nice little candle going. Just finished a nice steak dinner. Just only steak though. Only steak. I guess I'm carnivore now. Absolutely not. I would never want to be that miserable. Anyways, we got day 25. Day 25. Late night donuts. Obviously no donut shops open. We went to the good old 7-Eleven. Got a nice glazed donut. Gonna watch some Summer House like a goddamn gentleman that I am and enjoy this. Tastes like damn rubber, this donut. Tastes like damn rubber. Still damn good, but probably won't get again unless it's another late night donut night. See you tomorrow. Day 26, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Day 26, daily donut. We got Krispy Kreme. I just got 6 of them. I've been really tired of going to the donut shop every day. I know this is kind of a risk because I like donuts and I will have the urge to have another one, but I've just been getting really exhausted going to the donut shop each day. Especially yesterday was like my turning point where it's like 5 o'clock. I'm like, I forgot. I haven't got my donut yet. And I had to go to 7-Eleven to get a plastic tasting donut. So we did go to the grocery store. They do have a little section that have a bunch of Krispy Kreme donuts. We got 6 of them. They're in the kitchen, but we're going to hammer this one down right now. Cheers. When I was a kid, chocolate frosted was my favorite. Glazed chocolate frosted was always my go-to. I had a couple 1-2 donuts when I was a kid, to say the least. All right, time to go record a podcast. We'll see you soon.
And to go back to the perfectionism thing, I truly believe that perfectionism is just an overthinker's excuse to not act.
Yeah,
And
100%.
yeah, I mean, paralysis by analysis is definitely a big issue for a lot of people. If it's not perfect, if they're not all in, if they can't be all in, they won't do it at all, and they just negate action altogether. And I mean, I've fallen into that trap. A lot of veterans fall into that trap because you develop this all or nothing mindset in the military more than anything. When we're drinking, it's all or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, things like that definitely carry over in real life, but perfectionism was a huge issue. Perfectionism.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's sit down and talk about what I was talking about earlier in this video as far as this guide to fat loss. And I'm going to go over, like I said, the 4 F's that I like to use in my coaching and with myself, like I've been using on this journey of this daily donut, where eating a donut every single day, showing you can still lose weight, is following this guideline. The 4 F's. So you have foundation, then you have your food and fitness, and then you have your freedom. So first up is your foundation phase. So before you get into the numbers, the details, right? The calories, the macros, the advanced workouts, all these little detailed things. You need a solid, strong foundation when you are not only losing weight, but just with your health in general. And that's what we're trying to create in this phase. We're trying to create this foundation of behaviors and habits in your relationship with food that are strong no matter what, strong no matter the season of life. So I even like to refer to this as like your all-season bulletproof plan. So it's like, as life's busy, what can we still take care of? What things do we need to heal and fix that may have to do with your relationship with food, with training, with yourself, so we can not only make progress, but give ourselves that sense of freedom and just have a lot of these habits and behaviors strong, healthy, and in place. Because a lot of people enter a fat loss phase and they instantly think restrict. Restrict, restrict, restrict. Cut out your favorite foods, cut your calories in half, start doing 2 days at the gym. They're being very extreme with what they're deciding to do as far as their fat loss plan. They're very all in, right? But when they're not all in, they're all out. They're doing absolutely nothing. They're overindulging. They're not doing any movement. They're not working out. They're not doing anything whatsoever. Because typically what happens is when you're all in, it's unsustainable. You eventually burn out, so you give up and go all out. You crash and you end up back where you started, probably worse even. So here's the truth with the foundation phase. Like I said, you're building this foundation, right? You can't build a house on sand. It's not going to be strong. You need to build your house on a strong concrete foundation so it can work through the storm, so it can last a really long time, right? Same thing with your health and fitness habits, right? No matter the season of life, we want to still at least be doing something. We want to have a better relationship with food. We still want to be doing something with our movement, with our nutrition, right? We're not just giving up altogether. So when it comes to building a foundation, when it comes to your health and fitness, right? I need you to stop thinking of it like an on and off switch. I want you to think about it. It's more like a dial. You turn on and off, right? When life's busy, we don't just say, fuck it, and give up everything whatsoever. We might dial things back. But we're still doing something. We're still getting our steps in. We're still maybe getting fruits and vegetables in. We're still drinking our water, still making sure we prioritize sleep. We're still doing things to manage our stress, right? And then when life opens up again, we can crank that dial up. We can do maybe some more steps, get in some more workouts, maybe even focus being on more consistent with our nutrition, right? I always say be 80% consistent. Maybe when life is busy, hey, we're 80% consistent. We're 75% consistent even. But when life opens up, we have a little less stress, a little bit more flexibility. Hey, let's crank that to 85 or 90% consistent. So no matter what, we're always moving towards our goals. Whether you're running, you're sprinting, you're walking, or even crawling, we're always moving forward. We're always taking care of our health. That's first and foremost. So when it comes to your foundation, right? A couple things we want to check. How's your relationship with food? What are maybe some of the mental struggles you're having? Are you all in, all out, that all or nothing mentality? Do you look at foods as good or bad? Like, do you label foods as good or bad, which every time you have a bad food, it causes you to spiral and indulge and binge? Do you feel the need to be overly restrictive? Do you struggle with yo-yo dieting, and every time you enter this crash diet, you always lose it, but you gain it back? So maybe we need to find a little bit more of a sustainable approach. How do your current habits look behind your nutrition and your training, right? Are you working out currently? If you're not working out whatsoever, all right, maybe we start to build a foundation of 1 to 2 workouts per week. Are you moving at all? How's your daily movement look? How do your steps look? Are you getting 1,000, 2,000 steps a day? Cool. Maybe we build a foundation of 5,000 steps a day and work your way up to that. How's your sleep been? How's sleep going? Are you getting, 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night? Now, obviously, if you're a parent of babies, parent of infants, do the best with what you got. I know your circumstances are a little bit unique and different, but are you shutting your phone down before bed? Are you staying up watching Netflix till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning? Are you prioritizing sleep? And lastly, how's your stress management? Do you find yourself emotionally eating? Do you find yourself stressed, so you eat? Do you find yourself bored, so you eat? Do you find yourself after a bad day of your boss yelling at you, you got in a fight with your spouse, the kid's schedule is crazy, and you're using food to cope with that, to help comfort you, to help maybe numb some of that pain? So this is why we need to dive into your foundation first. Now, we can obviously get a lot deeper and a lot specific, but just for the case of not making this video 2 hours long, because that's probably how long it would take, I just want you to have this clear understanding of building this foundation. Look at these big 5 areas. your nutrition, foundation with your nutrition, right? Having a foundation with your meals, right? Making sure you're creating well-balanced meals, making sure you're getting your fruits and vegetables in, making sure you're getting protein in, making sure you're drinking enough water, right? You're starting to even create meals rather than just snacking all the time. A lot of people snack, and that's where they overconsume calories because they're having a lot of these snack foods, which are typically calorie dense. So they're overconsuming calories through snacking versus if they just had a big, well-balanced meal full of protein and fruits and vegetables, it would help them feel full. It'd help them feel more satiated. Maybe you're someone who needs more education on how to create a well-balanced meal. But look at your nutrition. Even inside your nutrition, look at your relationship with food. What are some of these common mindset, these common psychological beliefs you have that maybe need work? Like I say, the perfectionism mindset, the all or nothing mindset, labeling foods as good or bad. Possibly these things that we need to start improving to improve your relationship with food, which in returns makes fat loss easier in the long run, which makes the next stage, food and fitness, a lot easier as well. So you have that nutrition bucket. We have our movement bucket. Like, what does your daily movement look like? Are you moving enough throughout the day? Do we need to work on getting 5,000 steps at a bare minimum each day or working to get up there? How's your training look? The third bucket. Are you exercising? Are you strength training? Are you building muscle? Are you building strength? To not only help with fat loss, but to improve your quality of life, to give you some longevity in life so you can live a high quality life for as long as possible till the day you die. The rule of thumb I like to use with my coaching is for every client, my goal for them from an exercise standpoint, from a quality of life standpoint, is to be able to wipe your ass on the last day of life. I know it sounds funny, but it's the truth, because unfortunately, there are people that need assistance with that. But my goal for you or for any of my clients or for whoever's watching this is to at least have that ability, have that option. Then we have our sleep bucket, which is making sure you're getting quality of sleep. If our sleep's out of whack, it's going to make fat loss a lot harder with our hunger, with our energy. And then lastly, our stress management. I think one of the most overlooked buckets when it comes to fat loss is your stress management. Again, this can go even more to your relationship with food, how you're handling emotions. Are you eating when you feel certain emotions? Because if hunger's not the feeling, food isn't the answer. So this foundation phase is just not about perfection in any way, shape, or form. It's just developing habits, behaviors, maybe breaking some patterns, starting new patterns, and working on overall consistency when it comes to your health. Building a foundation with your health. It's not necessarily a fat loss phase. It's just building this foundation to make fat loss easier after this phase. So we're just creating systems for yourself. When life gets busy, when life gets more flexible, we know how to approach it. And this is a big reason why we play the long game here. You know, we overestimate what we can do in a month, but we underestimate what we can do in a year, 2 years, 5 years. But if you take anything from this section, it's just to remember, taking care of your health is not an on and off switch. It's a dial. We'll crank things up. When life gets easy, we can hammer away. But when life gets crazy, we keep crawling towards our goals. We keep crawling to take care of our health, and we just dial it back a little bit. But we're always moving towards our goals. We're always at least having this foundation to take care of our health. So after our foundation phase, this is where we move into the food and fitness phase. Now, this is just a simple phase, not easy, but simple phase, where we dial in your numbers. Sometimes this phase can be boring, but it should be boring. Boring is easy. Boring is doable, and that's okay. We should be okay with being bored. But simply put, since we have our foundation built, we're just working off of that and starting to dial some things in. Our calories, our protein, and our workouts. So with our calories, we might start tracking your calories to a certain number. And here's a quick way to calculate your calories. What I like to use is a range of calories. I think a lot of times we get one particular number and we go over, let's say your calorie target's 2,000 calories, and we go over that by 50 calories, 100 calories, and we're like, oh, today's a shit show. It's in the books. Might as well, just give up and just go indulge a little bit more since I ruined today already. Where it's like, hey, just because you're a couple calories over doesn't mean you're not in a deficit anymore. It actually means you're just in less of a deficit. And let's say you do eat a little bit more, you're in maintenance. You're in maintenance. That's okay. Like if you're in a deficit the other 6 days of the week, you're still in a deficit for the week. Think big picture, because we don't want to eat thousands on thousands of calories over, because that might make the week as a whole cause us to be in maintenance, maybe even in a surplus. So we don't want to let one day of being a little bit over turn into this drastic thing of being way over, where now we're not making progress. Now we're sort of stuck in maintenance because we're having these days we overindulge, or maybe it causes us to gain weight. So I like to use a range. I think it gives a little bit more flexibility where it's like, all right, if you're hungry, you can eat a little bit more. If you're not that hungry, then eat a little bit less. So take your goal body weight, whatever that is. So say I'm 250 pounds. I want to weigh 200 pounds. I'll take 200 pounds and multiply it by 11.5 and then again by 12.5. So my calorie range would be 2,300 calories to 2,500 calories. So that would be the range I'd be giving to myself. And my goal is just to hit that range consistently 80% of the time. That'd be about 24 or 25 days of the month, with having the other 5 or 6 days obviously in moderation. Again, I don't want you to be thousands on thousands of calories over, because that can happen, especially the weekend warriors like myself who've struggled with that in the past, but just being overall consistent with it, keeping the other days in moderation. So up next is your protein. Protein is beyond important, very important macronutrient when it comes to fat loss, because one, when we're in a calorie deficit, we're hitting that calorie target, we do want to make sure we lose our adipose tissue, which is your fat tissue, right? So protein, eating enough protein is going to help maintain your muscle mass and even in some cases help you grow, especially if you're a beginner, help you build some muscle, but making sure we lose our fat tissue. So now not only are we losing weight, but we're losing fat. And we're also creating this leaner, toner physique, which ideally is what I believe your goal is, to be a little bit leaner, to be a little bit toner. So we want to make sure we're eating enough protein each day. Plus, it's going to help you stay full. It's going to help you stay full for longer. And protein is actually known as the highest thermic effect of food, which means compared to carbs and fats, when you eat more protein during the digestion process, you're going to burn more calories than that. So it's like free cardio, basically. Well, not really, but just to give you an idea, you're burning more calories just naturally throughout the day. It actually helps boost your metabolism. It helps you burn just more calories naturally throughout the day just from eating more protein. So with your protein, you want to have about 0.7 grams of protein per pound of goal body weight. And that's a bare minimum. So think of your calories like a maximum, like, hey, at the maximum, I want to be here. But at a minimum with protein, I can always go above it, but I want to be here. So 0.7 grams multiplied by your goal body weight. So for me, again, if I'm trying to weigh 200 pounds, my bare minimum would be 0.7 grams times 200, which would equal 140 grams of protein per day. Now for me, during this daily donut diet, I've been trying to get at least 200 grams of protein per day. But I had days where I hit 140 grams. I had days where I hit 150 grams, around that number. But I always just made sure to at least hit that minimum of 140 grams per day. And that's helped me a lot stay full while still eating donuts, because donuts make me even more hungry, to be honest. But it's helped me stay full while eating donuts. It's helped me stay full for longer. And again, I can see as my weight's going down, I'm losing fat. I feel myself getting more toned, getting more lean. And then lastly, let's talk about our workouts. So ideally, I love the idea of strength training. I think it has the best translation over into real life where it can make your quality of life a lot better. But I think it's the most optimal way when it comes to creating this fat loss, toner, leaner look. But with your strength training, I'd say anywhere from starting off at 2 days a week to building up to maybe even 4 days a week is a great spot to be in. Now, within your workouts, what I want you to focus on in this phase is progressive overload, trying to make some progress with your training week over week, month over month. So with progressive overload, that's going to help you, again, build some muscle, maintain your muscle mass as well. Again, we want to make sure we're maintaining our muscle as we're losing fat, as we're losing weight. But strength training is just a great complement to your nutrition, to your diet, because I'll say this, nutrition is the driver, your movement and training is the passenger, both together are even better. So while you're in a calorie deficit, eating enough protein while also strength training, this is just going to be the magical plan that helps you shred that fat off, helps melt that fat off the body. And again, if you're consistently training 2 to 4 times a week, hitting your calories 80% of the time, getting that protein in 80+% of the time, you are setting yourself up for such great success in this fat loss. So to sum this up, the food and fitness phase is kind of where this fat loss starts to happen. This is where we get a little meticulous. This is where we get a little bit more into the details of making sure we're hitting our numbers, we're progressively overloading our workouts, and staying dialed in and staying consistent with things. All right, so we have our foundation built. We've dialed in our food and fitness. Then the last phase is your freedom phase. Now, this is the phase that either one, people never get to, or two, they just skip over it, which is a huge mistake because one, they're always in the food and fitness phase. Most people just skip over foundational phase and they skip over the freedom phase. And if you want to continue yo-yo dieting forever and ever, keep doing that. But if you do want to finally lose weight once and for all, one, backtracking here, you got to do the foundation phase. But two, you can't skip over the freedom phase. This is where you start to really get confident in you're happily ever after. Now, in the foundation phase and the food and fitness phase, you still develop confidence, you still develop self-efficacy. A lot of freedom is built within those phases, but we want to make sure we feel confident to keep the weight off once and for all. Now, I'll say this. A lot of times, with my coaching in particular, I'll have people go into food and fitness phase because the food and fitness phase, again, is the fat loss phase, right? We're really trying to be consistent, lose weight, lose fat. That's really the intention there. But we also don't want to be in a fat loss phase 365 days a year. We want to go in and out of fat loss phase. We want to go fat loss phase. All right, let's take a little bit of break, maintain things. All right, let's go back to a fat loss phase, go back to a maintenance phase, practice maintaining our new low weight, because guess what? When you maintain a new low weight for a month, 3 months, however long, that's progress too. You're showing yourself you can maintain the progress you've made, which maybe you've never done before. Typically, maybe you go right back up, the scale goes right back up, the fat gain goes right back up. So we learn to maintain the progress we do make. We build confidence in our abilities. We practice these habits. We practice going into scenarios, situations where you might feel a little bit stressed, you might feel a little bit anxious, but work through them and start to get repetition, building your confidence in those scenarios. So we just take phases in and out of fat loss into maintenance where we can just practice maintaining things, keeping our habits going, keeping our nutrition going, and in some cases, working our way off of tracking calories as well. So we don't have to worry about that anymore, because tracking is a great tool, but remember, it's just a tool to help give us some awareness, to give us some guidance. And a lot of times getting away from tracking, it's kind of been like our crutch. So we need to get used to not tracking. We want to have that freedom to not weigh everything, to not measure everything. So long story short, this is just a phase where we just finally lock everything in, where fat loss just ended up becoming something that just happened on the way to a life that became freaking amazing. So when you make it to this final phase, right, you didn't just lose the weight, but now we gain the confidence, the clarity, and the control you need to feel that freedom and to feel that happily ever after. So when you get to that final freedom phase, let's stay there and just go enjoy life, knowing we have the ability to take care of our health, to maintain our progress, but enjoy life as well. Enjoy the treats as well. Enjoy the celebrations of life. I hope this helped. Any questions on this, please leave a comment down below. And again, if you made it this far, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. And real quick, next week is going to be my last week doing the Daily Donut Challenge. So we're going to close things off after 5 weeks. But if you do want to keep seeing videos come along, maybe it'll just be more lessons like this rather than maybe me just eating donuts and weighing myself each day. But I'd like to do more videos like this. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you comment down below. Let me know what videos you'd want to see, what specific questions you want answered. What do you want me to create? I'd love to hear your insight. But anyways, I appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things to the channel, and let's go eat some more donuts. See you soon. All right, we're back. Day 27, Daily Donut. There is a bite out of this donut. It's Saturday, and you saw my Saturday reel on Instagram, which if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram. The link will be in the bio. It's pretty simple at kpd.fit. That's K as in Kevin, P as in Patrick, D as in Driscoll, .fit. But let's hammer this down. I don't think I finished my sentence there about talking about my Saturday post. I basically took a bite out of the donut in it, but now I'm going to finish it now. Day 28 done. See you soon. We're back. Day 28. The Daily Donut's back. Nice lighting right now. Hopefully about to get a little pizza and ice cream after this. A little date evening. But going for an appetizer, I guess. Class A nutrition right here. in the books. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things through the YouTube channel. But as you heard, this is going to be my second to last week. We got one more video. Next week will be my last week. Make sure you follow on Instagram if you want to see the day-to-day stuff. But we'll do one more video of this. Again, if you're interested in a 21-day-ish fat loss challenge, dropping 5 pounds in 21 days, something of that nature, getting shredded, maybe it's the kickstart you need to get shredded for summer, let me know. Comment down below. But I appreciate you tuning in. It does mean the world to me. All my info is in the bio, Instagram, social media, YouTube, podcast, all that stuff. So make sure you check that out too. But I appreciate you being here. Go eat some damn donuts, and I'll see you in the next video.